Before I start, I need to add something Tommy just said. For the judges, there's been a change in the criteria for tonight's competition. I need you to add a column to your spreadsheet. If you need a question about this, you have plenty of accountants around you, ask them. But please add a column. The header of that column should be sympathy. Put a 10 next to my name and a 0 next to the other contestants. Let me explain. When I win the South's Funniest Accountant, I'm going to put my certificate in an 8 by 10 frame. That's 8 feet by 10 feet. And it will be posted directly behind the sofa that sits in front of the television. And there I will wait like a trapdoor spider on the Discovery Channel. I will wait for my prey. I will wait for the day my wife Marcy says, "You're not funny." Not funny? Not funny, you say? Do you not see my certificate? The South's Funniest Accountant? Signed Dan Erling from Accountants One. There were 800 people there, and they laughed. And not just at me. The home school board will show Dan won, Marcy 6,342,942. How did she get so many points? Let me tell you, I don't know. I am a bit suspicious. Are there any auditors in the house? It's a lot like pinball. I can't explain how the points work, but I know when I lose. So my wife, Marcy, she's from Chile. That's right, I married a Latina. Yeah, you know what that means. You know what that means. I'm used to being yelled at in a language I don't understand. Lavas tu manos antes cena, gringo loco! I haven't figured that one out. I have a hard time breaking out my cell phone, unlocking it, getting to Google Translate, and getting it close enough to her mouth without her noticing. My wife is from Chile, and she does not find me funny. It's okay. It's cultural. That's a neat trick, isn't it? I say it's cultural, and I become blameless in this situation. Somehow, when you normalize for language, social norms, and religion, I have no blame. After living in Mexico and Chile, and obviously marrying a Chilean woman, I can tell you one thing that is different between the American and Latin culture, and that is man on man hugging. Having been firmly raised within the American culture, there are 3 times that I hug another man. 1, a relative closer than a second cousin. 2, a friend that I've had for over 7 years. 3, a stranger at an NC State football game post-touchdown. The 3rd is usually while I'm drunk and shirtless. For the average Latin male, he will hug another man. He will hug another man if he looks like an okay hombre. And it's the intersection between these two cultures that cause the problems. Take my friend Brian from Costa Rica. Yes, there are Brians from Costa Rica. There also are Nicks, Kevins, Howies, and AJs. This whole Backstreet Boy problem was bigger than we ever thought. So my friend Brian from Costa Rica came to the US and always used to greet me with a hug and say goodbye with a hug. I am okay with that. Just let me know when I'm supposed to hug. But over time, he Americanized and he stopped hugging. No one told me. No, but I didn't see that Facebook post. I didn't see that email in my inbox. Nobody ever told me. And that leaves me with the awkward situation with him going in for the handshake and me going in for the hug. Welcome to Team Awkward. You're on my team, whether you like it or not. But perhaps it was because I was drunk and shirtless. It's okay. It's cultural. How many people here grew up in small towns? I grew up in a place called Fuquay, Varina, North Carolina. If you spell that, you didn't ask, but I'll spell it for you anyway. That is Fuquay hyphen Varina. Fuquay, Varina. The hyphen is very important to its name. It has kept the peace between the Fuquanian and the Varinian people for many a year. Apparently a dispute about the proper amount of butter to put in grits. But not everyone recognizes the peace treaty. Take the US Postal Service. They do not allow any punctuations in a city name. Can you believe that? So when I write a birthday card to Grandma, I have to leave out the hyphen. Grandma didn't get the birthday card? I blame the hyphen. So as you can imagine, a place like Fuquay has lots of nicknames. One, you have the Quay. PG-13, right, guys? Well, that leaves us with... We have the Quay. In high school, I worked in a fast food restaurant in Fuquay, Varina. And once a visitor came in and gave his order, and he asked, "How do you say the name of this place?" I was a bit confused. There's a great big sign at city limits. It's pretty much pronounced as it's spelled, but being a polite Southerner, I had to answer his question. So I said, Hardee's. It's okay. It's cultural. I'm Dan Houck, El Gringo Loco.